Hello everybody, welcome to Pokemon Empire. Now, obviously, if you've seen the amount of videos we currently have, you can probably tell we're the new guys when it comes to YouTube. Trust me though, Pokemon Empire will skyrocket, and by that, I mean we're gonna become a great channel. Just probably not today. Now, I'm gonna cut to the chase right here. I will be ranking my opinion on all 18 Pokemon types. 18 being my least favorite, 1 being my absolute favorite. Now, being an experienced YouTuber in the past, somewhat, I can absolutely guarantee that almost none of you are going to agree with me. But please consider that this is almost entirely based with lore and most unanswered questions that they have for me. Now, starting us off, number 18 is Ghost types. I'm sure some of you are already very mad, but I'm not saying that they're bad. In fact, one of my top 10 favorite Pokemon is a Ghost type, but that's for later. Anyway, I never liked Ghost types for the reason of touch. Why does poison hit a ghost less than a blade of grass does? Or a splash of water? An ember? Or fire? Why do Ghost types hit each other harder than anything else? Though there are many unanswered questions about Ghost types, they're a good type, and I will leave it at that and just move on. Number 17 is Normal type. Normal type is just so, well, normal. There's no other way to say it. It's just pointing out the fact that a certain type of Pokemon is normal, which I don't think any should be. While I love certain normal type Pokemon, if it has another type, it's basically just being considered lesser than that. Like Galarian Zigzagoon, it's known as a dark, tricky, taunting creature. Or, because it's a normal type, it's a little less than said qualities. Next, at number 16 is Steel type. Steel is what I like to think of as the person type. I sometimes think that all Steel types should be originated from Fire or Earth, since that's where it originates from in the real world. Or that the fact that there aren't any Pokemon that develop a steely formation from Rock. Like, why does Clink start out as a perfectly good gear and doesn't evolve into anything better? Or why Honedge is a perfectly good sword to start and not a rusted or lesser sword? Number 15 is Poison type. Poison's very troubling. Some of the dex entries talking about how much suffering certain Pokemon produce due to the amount of poison they produce. Not to mention the Earth would probably not exist if poison types were around and in good numbers. Number 14 is Psychic type. Psychic is a great type, and I love the lore behind its weaknesses. Bug, darkness, and ghosts are all common fears, and it would make sense to weaken a being of incredible psychic strength. One thing I dislike is it being strong to poison. I get that a smart person would not easily be fooled for something like poison, but it certainly doesn't affect people that easily. Some dogs can easily detect poison, let alone a psychic man. Number 13 is Ice. I love that Ice is one of the few types that stands to dragons. What I don't love is the weakness to everything else. Also, is a dragon really gonna let a Shiver take it out? I know where it comes from, but knowing of many dragons can breathe fire, I doubt that it would be much of a problem. Number 12 is Electric types. Electric is all the way up here because of its popularity and power, but I don't like it. I'm coming out with a confession. I hate Pikachu. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone. It's overrated and not insanely great. Also, many electric type Pokemon are slow. Vikavolt is a literal racer in the anime Sun and Moon, but has a slower speed than Sliggoo, the slug Pokemon. An electric type has slower average speed than Flying and Dragon. While this might make sense, electricity is something of speed of light, and it can't keep up with birds or beasts? I find this very weird. Number 11 is Rock types. This is explainable. Rocks aren't super tough or good at really anything other than standing still. But another favorite Pokemon is in this category, so there's a minor slide, like Rock Slide. Also, Rock types are insanely useful, and I love the creation behind it. Okay, here we are at 10 to 5. These Pokemon are amazing and deserve better praise considering they're almost necessary in the Pokemon world. Starting at number 10, Dark types. While I still have questions about how darkness can attack something, it counters perfectly to a higher standard of evil and Pokemon that follow their own nature and don't necessarily have to listen to their trainers. Number 9 is flying types. One of my favorite run-throughs of Pokemon was with flying types. Unpheasant, this is for you. Birds are amazing creatures, and seeing them with different abilities like Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno, it just inspires me. Number 8 is dragon types. Next to birds, dragons are a very favorite creature of mine. I love the freedom that Nintendo must have with this type in taking the facts that there are no rules because this creature doesn't exist. I don't love dragon type Pokemon in general like Dragonite or others, but this is lore, and I also love dragons. Number 7 is Fairy, the opposition to Dark and the better half of it. Good always triumphing evil is the inspiration behind this type, and the reason I love it so much. This is also the winning half of the hero versus dragon kind of thing. Number 6 is Fire. Fire is a destructive thing and can be wildly out of control, but this is one of the reasons that I love it so much. I love it for its starters like Blaziken, Fennekin, and Incineroar. And its popularity is off chart, and that is why I don't love it so much. Top 5, we are finally here. These are some of my most favorite types, and the story behind it is why it is greatly inspired and mostly just comments. There is also a little less to comment on the lore and more of them just being my favorite types. Number 5 is Grass type. Grass is just straight up nature, which is something I love very much. Also, its weaknesses to poison, ice, and flying are accurate to one of the highest amounts of praise. Number 4 is Bug. Dragon, Steel, Fairy, and Fire are all so overrated, but Bug, that is a very different story. I am absolutely in love with Bug-type Pokemon, specifically the generation's main Bug types. Butterfree is cute and adorable and stands for Bug types. Beautyfly is my favorite Bug-type Pokemon of all time. Grubbin just stands for cute Bug-type Pokemon. I think all Bug-type Pokemon are so amazing, except for the Burmy evolution line. Burmy is terrible. Sorry. Number 3 is Ground types. As I've said before, these types are my absolute favorite. Swampert is my absolute favorite starter for half the reason of being a ground type. I'm also just loving the thought of having Rock and Earth being differentiated. Number 2 is Fighting types. I am also very inspired by fighting types like Mienfoo and Machop that start as little kid-like creatures and absolutely soar through the roof with power like Mienshao or Gigantamax Machamp. Also, my evil team that I created is based off of this inspiration, but that's for later. Number 1. Finally, we're here. If you're a well-known Pokemon fan, you know which type is left and you know what I'm going to say, and a lot of you are probably still mad at me, but I hope you'll understand. Water types. Number 1 is water types. Water is my absolute favorite. Everybody loves water. To drink, to swim, to explore, and create, and find out. Water has everything we could need, and I love it. On that note, fish. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my very horrible judgment, but I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please give this video a like. And if you loved this video and maybe actually agreed with what I said, I would encourage you to subscribe and turn on notifications for further videos. This would be much appreciated by me and my comrades in the channel that we're running for. Till next time, keep your Pokemoning a must. Also, just want to let you know we do have a Twitch channel that recently opened up as well, so go check that out to see more of our stuff.